Hello, Editing Juke here. Just popping in really quick to explain. For this episode, I had a bit of technical difficulties. Basically, I lost the files that allowed me to edit the separate microphones separately. I only had the file with the two microphones together, so I wasn't able to edit out a lot of noises. And whenever you're like recording with someone, if ever you have to do something that is going to risk making noise, you do it while you're not talking so that you can cut it out. But in this situation, I wasn't able to do that. I'm still learning this whole podcasting editing thing, and I'm getting better with time. It's still a great episode, and I wanted to post it because it's a great interview. You just need to bear with a little more sounds than I would have hoped to leave in. So without further ado, Getting Gamers. Hello, and welcome to Getting Gamers, your guide to understanding the gamers in your life. I am your host, Juke. And today I am joined by a very special guest, my boyfriend, Mistyc.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
So today we're going to talk about Mystic's career in gaming, especially considering the Mistyc started gaming as a teenager.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, how about, as per tradition, you tell us how you came up with your gamer tag?
So my gamer tag origins from the fact that as a teenager, I was really big into Greek mythology. So everything that is basically mystical, like everything that you don't see in real life, And I wanted something that was going for that. And for me, just the word mystic was just like, wow, for me. So I went for that. And I needed something pretty simple to say for, people to, because before my gamer tag was kind of, a youngster gamer tag.
What was it?
It was Monsieur le Singe Fou.
Monsieur le Singe Fou, which in English translates to Mr. the Crazy Monkey.
Exactly.
Which is a pretty long gamer tag.
And kind of not like unprofessional in my point of view. Yeah.
Okay, so you changed gamer tag kind of when you started becoming competitive?
Exactly. When I started, when I saw the opportunity to actually doing competition and everything, and I thought about it. I'm like, I don't think this is really what I was going for, first of all.
So wait, so what age was that?
14, I think.
14?
Yeah.
Is that like actually when you started competing? Or?
Yeah, competing Call of Duty.
Okay.
So I was doing the teenage league. So there's the major league and there's the teenage league for Call of Duty. At this time, it was on Black Ops 1? Black Ops 2 I started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Though the Call of Duty, that's a first-person shooter?
Yeah, first-person shooter, where it's a 5v5 game in general.
5v5, so 5 players versus 5 players.
Yes.
All right. I remembered Rainbow Six Siege was your competition game, but now
my main one, yes.
Yeah, but you've competed in a lot of games.
A lot, yes. Well, I wasn't really known for these games because I played them most likely like maybe 1 year. But I played Fortnite, Apex Legends, Rainbow Six Siege, COD, which is Call of Duty. And those were the big main games. Yeah. I won one competition in Apex, and the other half we didn't really win, but it was close, real big competition and everything.
All right. So, at what point did it go for you from just being a fun gaming thing, like just a normal teen who games, to being like, oh, this is serious?
Well, to be honest, I never had the past where it was fun. I always had competition in my life. So since I was 4, I played soccer competitively, like the big leagues. And then when everything I pick up in life is for competition. So I put my everything just to try to defeat the other ones, and to be the best at it.
Yeah. But at what age do you think you started gaming?
Younger, at 9.
Okay.
I was playing a little bit on the PC, my mom's and everything, PS1 and everything. And then when I picked up COD, that was like the light.
And when did you pick up CUD? At 14?
At 12.
At 12. Okay.
Yeah.
So like from 9 to like 12-ish, you were playing for fun.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. But you were still the competitive.
I was
like,
always trying to find the little loopholes and the things that I wanted. I always wanted to be better. But because, esport is really young as a sport.
Yeah.
So basically, like League of Legends, all these things that were the main things, and Warcraft, don't forget about that. That's the biggest one who started it. But like League of Legends nowadays is like 2 million, 1 million cash prize. But at the start, it was $10,000, And this is when I started picking up about it, about competition, because otherwise it never came into my mind,
But for you, it was mainly because you wanted competition. It wasn't about the money at first.
No, it was for me. It was my purpose.
It was just about being the best.
Yeah, the best, and with people, it's kind of cool because you have community and everything. With people you get to be with, and you get like you develop. How can I say that?
You can say it in French.
Relation, with relations with people.
Yeah. And
then you get to know, like, I have a friend nowadays, is like, I've been knowing him for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And we celebrated it in Discord and everything, but, we live far apart. But this people probably knows better my life.
Is that Jay?
No, it's Shadow.
Oh, yeah. You guys celebrated a 10-year thingy?
Yeah, a 10-year thingy.
Oh.
So, like, but yes, this guy probably know most of my things in my life than my friends nowadays. I've been knowing him longer than my friends nowadays.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because for me, a little bit of lore for the listeners in our relationship. Shadow is actually the first friend of Chris's I met, because Shadow doesn't live in the same city as us.
Yeah.
But Chris and I, when things were like starting off for us, we were in that city for an event. Like before we were even like officially a thing, Shadow is the first person that I met.
Exactly, yeah.
So Shadow has a special little place in my heart.
Yeah, and also, which is crazy, that's really good timing because we were in Quebec at this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm curious because you've always had like this goal of, being the best and always being competitive, but you were still a teen gamer.
Yeah.
So at what point did you realize you were good?
Most of the reason why I did it's because I've always been in the top 100 people in the world.
In your like in the ratings of the games.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So there's a leaderboard. Like in CUD, I was top 73 for a time. Then it's always switches. But when I see that I can reach that, it's where I'm telling myself like, okay, I am. Like what I'm doing is good, and I'm like in the best,
So even as a teen, you were ranking in the normal rankings. You were ranking pretty high.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Because I feel like in normal sports, like I don't want to say normal, but you know what I mean. Like in physical sports, the rankings are by age. I think it's something that's interesting in gaming that the rankings are per game and is the pool of all players. So it is interesting as a teen if you're realizing that you're ranking really high and you know that this is a game that's played by all ages. It does really indicate to you that there's something there, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I think that.
But that's the fun. Like nowadays, that you can do something, but at this time, you didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, do you think that having those ratings as a teen helped you explain it to your parents to be like, look, this is like a huge because they didn't understand the ratings. Okay,
if I would be in Korea, I would have been in state. Even the state nowadays is kind of mainstream. I would be able to.
Yeah.
But in Quebec, I can't.
But you still did a bit, right?
No.
But you did compete. That's what we're talking about right now, is that you competed.
I competed, but the only person that really understood it was my mom. But otherwise...
She understood just because she understood you.
Because this is what I was doing. Yeah. Even though I showed all the proofs to everyone, they always thought it was a bad idea,
Yeah. And I think that most non-gamers don't necessarily understand the ratings enough to understand their impact.
Well, it wasn't mainstream enough to tell if it was possible as a career. You know what I mean?
A career, yeah.
Yeah, a career. So yeah, that was basically it.
So continuing on that topic, can we dive a little deeper on what your parents thought about it? Like, your mom was supportive, but was there any pushback or?
Well, I didn't know. That's the thing though with my mom, which is amazing, that she didn't show resentment to it, but that she was willing to admit the fact that that was what I was doing to do. So even though it was bad or not, she was amazing at it. She wasn't showing anything, and she was supportive. She bring me food every time. Like I wasn't really there, you know.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that like sometimes you were practicing so much that she would just bring you supper.
Exactly.
And you would be so busy you wouldn't have time to say thank you because you'd be in game. Or
no, she didn't show
frustration
over that.
Yeah.
Anything. I was doing what I was like. For her, it was our kid being in his passion, which is I'm really grateful because it's really unique at this time to have that. Honestly.
Yeah, of course. But I remember talking to other gamers about the support that your mom showed towards your competitive career as a teen, and I could see whenever I do mention it to gamers that they find it touching, but you could see there's a little pain in their eyes as well because they can't help but imagine what it would have been like for them if their parents had been that supportive. Because I think a lot of gamers did have that dream growing up. And it's fascinating. It's a fascinating like thing to see in conversation of recognizing that without them having to name it, them going like, wow. And then you can see them thinking about like, what would that have been like? How far could I have gotten, if I had the support?
And for me, it was everything because my life was that. If my mom should have shown resentment and stuff, like I would have questioned my path, And I think the fact I took this path was so advantageous for my life, and I think it was wonderful for that.
And do you think that like the support that you felt, did it kind of create any like pressure to succeed?
I don't know. No, not for me, because I always put the pressure on me anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not the pressure of succeeding. It's the fact that she did that made me even better, in a way, because I didn't have the stress behind my head that what I was doing could hurt people around me or, affect just the way of people seeing me other than my family. But my mom was the most important. Yeah. And I could perform at my best because I didn't have this thought behind my back, in the back of my head,
Yeah, like you basically, you also didn't have to waste time defending yourself all the time, which I think does take a lot of energy out of people. I mean, just like puts you in a bad mood if you're having to defend your gaming and then having to compete.
I wouldn't have been able to do what I did if it was possible, because honestly, defending yourself for someone like me, it would have taken like 50% of my energy, and it's too much. I had to put 100% of my energy into it.
Yeah. Did it ever stop being fun? Like, considering you put all this pressure on yourself and you were still a teenager.
Well, no, it didn't stop being fun, because for me it was my purpose. And I always seen the game as fun, and learning something every day and pushing my limits every day was fun to me. But nowadays it wouldn't be fun for sure.
Oh, no?
No.
Because I have seen you, like, in the time that we've been dating, you've competed a bit, but I did notice that you were
I had fun because I was with friends,
Yeah.
But now learning a new game with everything I do in life, it would not be fun, because the competition nowadays is so hardcore. Like, people do this 10 hours a day, and if you're not supported by an org or then don't get paid, there's no point to do it.
Yeah. Supported by an org, he means like an organization.
Yeah, esports organization.
Yeah. So, were you supported by an organization? Because did you have like a manager?
One time. I'm Rainbow Six Siege with the Liberty Gaming.
Liberty Gaming.
Yeah, Liberty Gaming had a contract, but it was really not money. It's if I would have won a tournament that was more professional. But I was, I think it's $500 a week, It wasn't much, but it's something.
So with Liberty Gaming, did you have like sponsors or managers, stuff
With
like
the
that?
team, yeah, but personally, no.
So the team itself has...
Yeah,
It
like
had...
G Fuel, it has...
Those are sponsors.
Yeah, sponsors. Yeah, and Logitech too, in my knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Logitech, yeah.
And did you guys have a manager or a coach or something?
Yeah, well, oh my God, that was a structure. So there was a manager, there was two coaches actually, one for the strategies and one for personal life.
Okay.
There was so the manager did the schedules. There was a CEO too, but CEO doesn't really see it.
So wait, there's a manager for a coach for the gaming?
Yeah.
But what do you mean for personal life?
So training, you had
to keep you physically fit?
Fit, yeah.
Okay,
fit,
that's good.
Because like if you're not fit personally, you're never gonna be fit mentally.
Yeah.
So you will never have like 100% of your focus on the game if you're not fit. So this guy was there for that.
Yeah, and I think most serious gamers out there, even
they all have it.
Yeah, everybody's aware that like you're using your brain, you have to take care of your physical health. But I think that's really cool. I had not thought. I think I kind of assumed that like a gaming team doesn't necessarily like. I thought fitness is each person's like self responsibility on their own. I think that's super great that you guys had a.
Well, it was unknown for a Quebec team.
Oh yeah, it was like the first time.
Yeah, like honestly, out of my head, there's no Canadian. Well, there's Canadian teams, but from Quebec, no, there's none that in professional.
Yeah, well, who knows? Because it's been at least 10 years.
No, there's none. I know for a fact.
Still?
Oh yeah, there's none. There's one player in League of Legends that is a player, but not an org, which is Vulcan.
But what about the team you were with? They're gone?
No, they're not in a professional league. There's a semi-professional league.
Oh.
That are trying to be in the professional league. So in Rainbow Six Siege, there was the main league, and there was a sub league, like you see it in soccer. There's a La Liga, whatever, and under these big leagues, there's one league under, where the team competes to be promoted into the other league.
Yeah, like the junior leagues and stuff.
Exactly.
Like that. Okay.
So yeah.
So you were like in a junior.
In a tier 2.
Okay, I see. So, what did a normal day look like for you, like as a teen competitive gamer?
Well, a normal day. First of all, I woke up, I ate breakfast, and then it was going into the Discord, meeting with the people. So we had a schedule every day.
Okay.
I'm talking for Rainbow Six Siege. We had a schedule every day. So you look into the schedule, you see what I have to do. So normally it's like 2-3 hours of scrims, which means you're playing against another team to like 4, 5, 6, 7 straight games.
Yeah.
And then afterwards there were 2 hours of reviewing games.
Yeah, kind of like on TV, you see like the football team rewatching their own game and taking notes and stuff.
Yes, so there's that, but that's the coach jobs, and us as players of seeing what the coach has to say and adjusting everything. And there's this part between each games, and then afterwards we pretty much have solo queue.
Solo queue. That is practicing without your team, just you alone.
Yeah, you alone, or you can play with people, sometimes. But most likely you want to play alone, so you upgrades your personal game sense.
Game sense?
Yeah, game sense means in the game how you react and by the informations you have.
Okay. So like, but is that an actual term, game sense?
So
it's about like just your... kind of like your instinct.
Exactly.
Your game
instinct. In the game.
Is game sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
Game sense.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
So you develop that by doing solo queue, and solo queue you can do for forever until there's... So that's like between, and then Sometimes there's more scrims, but normally you don't. And then there's with the pro coach, like the pro life coach. Sometimes you go with them and you have to talk about. So basically, yeah. But the scrims and the watching can take almost 6 to 8 hours a day. And then afterwards, it's solo queue until like 10. You can take up to like you can do it for 4 hours, 2 hours, and it's on your liking, but you have to do it.
So judging from that, and considering you were a teenager, I'm thinking your school might have taken a hit.
Yeah. Fortunately, I didn't finish my secondary 5, and then I dropped out because of that.
Yeah.
But for me,
But you almost finished. It was just one exam, no?
yeah, but I didn't. I just didn't went to school at all.
And like, do you think the mentality of the team and all that, like, do you think maybe as like Quebec gaming teams evolve, especially for teens, that maybe there'll be like the coaches will have a bigger focus on making sure that like the teens still take care of their schooling?
But at this time, I wasn't really much of it. Like I was in secondary 5, you know.
In high school.
In high school, Sec 5, you know.
So for our like non Canadian or non-Quebecer, Sec 5 is like 16, 17 years old. It's the 11th grade.
Yeah. So I was 17 at this time. So I started it, and it wasn't... but taking back, like, I wouldn't have done it. Like, I wouldn't permissively, like... these team wouldn't get people under 16, you know, and
when the team you were in, they took 16 and
most orgs doesn't want people under 16.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's like but this was another thing as well, at tier 2, you know, tier 2, it's not a career, but if you're for a tier 1 org, honestly, like, you go for it, you know, even though you're 16, you just go for it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about, like, because I know it's not the same thing, but I'm thinking about, like, child actors, other, like, teen people.
Well, they will force you to do it.
Yeah, like child actors, there's, like, homeschooling and stuff like that to make sure that they keep up with their high school.
Exactly.
Because I'm assuming that in other countries where gaming competition is more respected, there are, you know, younger teams.
Well, for T1, so there's academy teams.
Academy teams.
That
means kids?
Yeah. Well, kids, teenagers plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like 16 up or younger?
Younger.
Okay.
So like T1 Academy, but they have a school integrated into their building.
Exactly.
So
that's
they
what
have.
I'm thinking.
So they have. Yeah. So, but it's not. It's specialized into just normal things, not specialized into like there's maybe mathematics and everything, but there's no like historical things. But so in their program, it's like soccer or football in school. You know, they go to school and there's programs where they go play games. You know,
yeah, but
it's not after school; it's in school.
Yeah, it's in school, but there's still things in place to make sure that they get their diploma or their GED or whatever.
Yeah,
I see. So. School aside and all that, again, focusing on the fact that you were pretty young when you started competing, like especially at 14, but even at 17.
But to be clarified, at this young age, I wasn't contractified.
You weren't contracted. You didn't have a contract.
So it was me with a bunch of people that I knew that was doing really great. And we started a team together.
Yeah, entering like on your own without...
Exactly. So no money, no contract. I was going to school still. So it was like a little bit of game, like 1-2 hours, and then we go to bed and we go back to school, you know, until we have the games in the league, you know. And so the games in the league was most likely 1 day a week. So yeah. I just wanted to clarify.
No, I get that. That makes sense. And Rainbow Six Siege, that was like 16, 17.
Yeah, 17.
Okay. And before I go to my next question, I am curious, were your coaches upset with you about high school? Like, did they find out?
No, I didn't tell anybody.
You didn't tell them?
No, for me, it was my choice.
Okay.
So, it didn't affect me mentally. Like, for me, honestly, high school was most likely a burden for me than...
No, yeah.
But that's my personal view. Exactly. But not a burden in a fact of I hated school. It's a burden that the thing that I learned wasn't for me, and my idea was not.
It wasn't what you needed.
Yeah, it wasn't useful.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I think most teens relate to that feeling.
But no, like it's done. But nowadays, I don't regret it. So
Yeah, well, you're a landscaper, so it works out.
exactly.
But yeah, coming back to the fact that you were young and like emotions
Yeah.
are a big thing when we're teens, with puberty and hormones and all that. So like, how did losing feel like at that age, since you're putting yourself in like these higher stakes situation? Like, do you feel like it had?
Honestly, I had more emotions losing than winning,
Yeah.
which is it's hard, because uh, it's where you tell yourself that you're not good enough, But it's not you personally, because I always beat up myself, If I did mistakes, I was harder than me than what I was doing right, So yeah, that was most likely it.
So, but what was that like as a 14 to 17-year-old having to like deal with the impact, or because you were doing sports since you were so young, you were practiced at
I
having to
don't
deal with
think I
that?
realized the impact about it because it was such a normal thing for me, not losing, but being that hard. But my coaches did help a lot with that because, like, they know the impact of, like, you don't want to lose morality and, believe in yourself. But I didn't really feel the impact. It was more natural way of reacting to the fact that you lost. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that, to be honest. It's a hard question.
Well, I mean, I think clearly like you weren't the type of kid that was punching walls or pulling
No, no, no,
tantrums.
no, 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 no.
Like,
I was
so it was.
in my solo queue games. I was more raging, but I wasn't really like it. I was a lot of introspective as a person, and I think that's also a quality that you need if you want to excel at gaming.
Yeah,
But it's always hard,
of course.
Yeah.
So was there like a particularly like most stressful moment that you remember?
Most stressful? No, not really. Not in game, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Since my young age, I was drilled to be in stressful moments anyway. 1v1s really like meaningful things. Like if you lose that, you're out of the competition, and like last round, like this for me was something easy to deal with. I think what is harder is to come to the realization that it's the end,
Like that it's over, you're losing.
Because there's games like if you do double brackets, you can lose once, but you can't lose twice.
No, I
Meaning
don't
a BO, like
best of
best of three, best of five. Okay, but
Okay.
in certain competitions, there's double brackets, which is there's the winning side and the losing side.
Okay.
So you play your games. The one like in the first line, so nobody played each other. But the first game, if you lose in these, well, you're not out.
Okay, you get a second
you play
chance.
against the next losing team.
Okay.
So when you lose in that state, that's where you realize really that like it's over, So yeah, that's where that was most hardcore, because that's where you realize it. Because even though you're losing, that's not really a thing that you realize in a way, because that's something, it's not really impactful.
Yeah, because it's a normal part of gaming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't win it all, that's for sure.
No, of course. So was there ever a time where it like ruined your whole day or your even
Oh
your
yeah,
week?
when I was most like Lanetes.
Lanateas. Yeah, Lanateas is a big competition. We've addressed Lanateas in previous episodes of the podcast. If ever you want to go check that out. But what were you saying about Lanateas?
So basically, Lanetes were that was a double bracket. But the thing is that in this one was most heartbreaking is that my performance was poor in a way, because this type of LAN was really horrible in a way of like you're all bunched up in the same thing.
Yeah, I remember going to visit people competing at Lanateas and being so surprised that like everybody side by side
And you
on
can't
their
set
computers.
up your stuff as the way you like it.
Yeah, because you have a limited amount of space and you're
And the
all next to
tables
each other.
are all the same height, and then you can't adjust everything. As if other lands, you had everything customized to you.
Oh yeah, okay, I didn't know.
So it was really more hardcore, and the fact that I was performing less, and then we got out by the number one Quebec team, which
Oh,
is
you got beat.
yeah,
Okay.
we got beat by them, the Nordic esport, which is really well, for me it was unfair because like they faced up the number one against like number two, you know.
No, I don't. Like but isn't it normal to put the two best against each other?
No, because well,
Or not like they
not
keep it
at
for the
first.
end.
First, yeah. So that was bad RNG.
RNG. Oh, because it was randomized who played against who?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So we got out like at the start of the tournament and was really, really
Oh, yeah, that's a
hardcore.
bummer.
Yeah, that was the most biggest like loser feeling, you know.
So was there any moments where you felt like quitting?
Well, yes, because Rainbow Six. Since I was in tier 2, I didn't for 2 years. I didn't go up tier 1, so I didn't. I felt like because me personally, when a game goes out, I'm always better than mostly everybody in these type of games, like humbly.
Yeah.
So when I saw that Fortnite got out, I was like, you know what, fuck it.
What do you mean Fortnite got out? It was like canceled, the competition?
No, go out like in the mainstream, like it got published.
Oh, it got published. Oh, like it got released.
Yeah,
Okay, so when it got released,
I went to Fortnite,
you went like full
on it.
Yeah.
And I was and there was a big Discord for competitions before like the mainstreams, and I was playing in that.
So you less often wanted to quit, more you just switched games.
Exactly.
Okay. So at what point did you actually like?
Oh, quit. Move on.
'Cause-
It's where I found that how can I say that? I didn't find any passions anymore about competition.
Yeah, the drive was gone.
Yeah, the drive was gone because everything was going to shit, you know, in a way. Like I started streaming. This was going well off, but it was going okay, and then the competition was going okay, but I wasn't going into tier 1s. And I was like, and then I found landscaping.
Yeah.
And then when I found landscaping, I was full on it. So
Yeah, you kind of found a new passion.
exactly.
It allowed you to move on.
Exactly.
Do you feel that because something I feel going back on the fact that you didn't have to fight your mom over the gaming, do you think that kind of like allowed you to move on? Because I feel like often,
Well, of course.
yeah, because I feel like when we're kids, like we get told that things are phases. Like, that's just like like when I was going through what people call my emo phase, and people kept telling me, "Oh, that's just a phase. That's just a phase." And I feel like
it pushes you to stay on
hold
this.
on, yeah, because I wanted to prove that, like, no, this is me. You know?
The way that my mom handled it was really crucial to the fact that me going through, because everything that I did as a teenager was my choice.
Yeah.
And I didn't, so I always had to think through what I did. And I never had like a negative outcome, but not negative outcome, but negative thinking behind my head in any sort of form, because my mom was always neutral or positive about it. So yeah. So when I found landscaping, I knew that fuck it, you know, and my mom was supportive again. So I was like, well, I wasn't doing much, and just go. You find your next path, and I think I'm really good at it, and I'm succeeding.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I do feel like, you know, not having to defend it, like maybe because you were a teen, if you had to defend it, maybe you would have held on or tried to hold
I
on.
would have wanted to prove to everyone that they were saying the wrong thing and they were dumb, and then this is my way of thinking anyway. So.
And well, and
I think
especially as a teenager, like
as a teenager and as a competitive person, you always want to prove people wrong.
Yeah,
that's a main for me. That's a main thing, you know. Yeah.
So we talked a bit about like the low points of like the stressful points, but is there like a best competing moment that you remember, like one of those memories that really sticks out from your competitive?
I think
career?
winning my first tournament was the biggest thing.
And that was with the team or?
With not with Rainbow Six.
Okay, so it was like the
But I
independent
mean,
team.
the thing is with Rainbow Six is that we won, we lost, we won, we lost, but it wasn't really a tournament until we did LAN, you know?
Yeah.
But so it wasn't really a high. It's like cool. We won a game. We want to do that next day, you know. But with Apex, it was the first tournament in the game, and we're just like it was the unknown, you know.
Yeah.
Like the thing of like nobody ever proven themselves. Nobody ever like there was a meta, you know, of things, but nobody really think that was the best way, you know.
So meta, for those out there who might not remember, I'm pretty sure we covered it, but meta is basically like the norm, the go-to way to play, the fact that people are going to play this player
Most
this
effective
way.
technique, something like that.
Oh my god, it's an acronym?
Wait, it's an acronym.
Holy
Wait, I'm gonna go find it.
shit.
It's the most effective technique. I think something like that.
Oh my god, while you Google it, because I thought meta, because in polyamory, for example, meta is a term. Meta means like your partner's other partners. So like if Chris and I were polyamorous and Chris had another girlfriend, she would be my meta. And then in TV, when we're talking about TV or movies, we're saying, oh, that's so meta. And so it's such a normal word to me, or a normal sound.
Yeah, so it's most effective tactics available.
Most effective tactics available.
Exactly.
Oh my god. So yeah, because meta is such a normal word that people use in different contexts.
Like LOL or everything like that.
I never thought that it meant something, that it was an acronym. Most effective
Tactics available. And plural.
Okay.
Because there are multiple
God.
of them, but it's the way, you know.
I'm so curious because I haven't gone to re-listen to previous episodes. I'm so curious to know if a gamer has already told me this acronym and I forgot, or if this is actually the first time I'm learning this.
It's not a known thing.
Yeah, but okay, cool. So
because it's so normalized. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what a meta is, people.
So going back to what I was saying is that nothing was normalized.
So you got to really like prove yourself in a sense.
Yeah, and I was an IGL, so in-game leader.
In-game leader. Oh yeah, that suits you.
With three people. No, two people. So yeah, it was 3v3s.
Okay, 3v3.
Yeah, so I was IGL with two people. And
in-game leader. That's also the first
so
time.
yeah, so we practiced. We did scrims. There was a Discord, pro card we call.
Okay? So it's just pros.
It's pros. It's like there's the big teams, you know, C9. These big teams are in there. So it was the pro card, and we didn't get picked up by these teams. So we started something like with three. We were really good at this, and then so
they didn't. No team picked you up, and you won anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I could see how that's like a top tier moment. And
I was top 3 Bangalore in the game.
What, Bangalore?
Bangalore is a character. It's a character.
Okay.
It's an offensive character.
Okay.
Which is as defensive. It's really OP. At this time, it was really, really OP.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck? Why are people like so? Because I was mostly speaking French.
Oh, they were picking you guys up because you were speaking French.
There's that, but English wasn't really
the language barrier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I played after that. I played with so many Americans, you know.
Yeah, but I could totally see people being like, they don't come from Quebec. They're not sure. They hear the accent. They're distrustful.
Exactly, because
they know other
when
people.
you do you're because you have to present yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to put where you're from and your
they're
name and like a CV,
awkward.
you know.
Yeah.
You have to put your stats and everything.
You have like a little gaming resume.
And then a Quebec team asked me to play, you know. So that's
after the victory.
No, that's we were in the team, Quebec team.
When you won.
Yeah.
Okay. So a team did end up picking you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was a Quebec team. Like for me, when you picked up by a Quebec team, you're in tier 2 for your life.
Because Quebec is not that big in the gaming world.
No, it's not even that. It's like the culture in Quebec is not made for that.
Yeah, because it's just not as accepted here.
No.
Yeah, but there are schools I've seen that are starting to have gaming.
Well, they have Rocket
programs
League
and-
because Rocket League is easy to tell everybody that it's
Rocket League is the game where you're a car playing soccer.
yeah. So yeah, no, Rocket League because it's easy to tell the parents that look,
It's
he's
not,
playing
you know,
soccer with a car.
Yeah, it's not dangerous. There's no guns and
Yeah.
yeah. True that it must be touchy.
There's
in
league too,
schools.
which is surprising, but the league
Yeah.
teams are like they're not searching for the best. You know?
Well, do you actually like know about them?
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah. You, like,
There's
keep up with-
varsity. There's not varsity.
Oh, when you were competing against some schools, but not
Yeah.
Quebecer schools.
No,
No, they were
no,
American schools.
no. If you want to get good practice, Americans. Yeah,
Oh my god, you're gonna offend so many Quebecers, babe.
it's my point.
Oh my god, Quebecers, don't hate me. It's my boyfriend. It's not me. This is not my opinion. I have no opinion. Quebec gamers are the best gamers in my opinion.
No. If you know the gaming community as like competitions and you're Quebec like a native, like if you speak French and you have French gamers with you, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, but still, Quebec gamers, don't hate me. That's his opinion.
No, nowadays I
know.
love them. For competitions, I hate them.
All right. Okay, so looking back now on your gaming career, do you feel like it was normal for a teenager?
No,
No?
no.
At least not a Quebec teenager.
Okay, nowadays maybe because you get so how can I say that?
It's getting more normalized.
Of course, because it's mainstream now. But it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm young. I'm not old. That's the
Yeah.
thing. That's the weird thing to say. I'm not old.
Yeah.
Like I'm the first generation. No, I'm the second generation
Yeah, of gamers.
of esport gamers.
Of bigger competitive gamers here. In
In
Canada,
in the world.
Well, I mean,
Because StarCraft wasn't like it was 2000 maybe 2005,
what?
4,
Oh, yeah.
5, 6, and it wasn't mainstreamed. Only in Korea that was mainstreamed,
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like,
and US.
yeah. But then here, you're like second generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, fun fact: the guy who dethroned the Koreans was a Canadian.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Ah.
in Warcraft.
In Warcraft? Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool. Go Canada. Do you feel like, did it help you grow in any way? And like,
Of course.
what lessons do you think it still applies?
Okay, first of all, we have to think the fact that what I was doing is work. So, and I was
Yeah, because
surrounded.
it does come with a certain level of discipline. Like, the
Oh my god,
practices
yeah! It's like if you're not disciplined, you're gonna get kicked so hard, and not even of the team in the balls, like because you will know the reality of like people around you do. If you're not putting the same discipline and the same work ethic as them, you're never gonna keep up. That's the most important thing that you have to acknowledge about that. And then there was schedules like in real work, and basically like, and you were working with people. So you're not around. So if you're selfish, if you're, it's gonna be noticed, and people are never gonna be wanting to work with you.
Yeah.
So it's a business.
And it's interesting because my next question was going to be like, what lessons of that you learned back then sticks today? But what you're naming right now is something that we have seen, or at least I have seen, has stuck. So for like other people out there, especially parents, if your kids are like, looking into competitive gaming and you're looking into being supportive on that aspect, I'll say one thing is the discipline that Mistyc has learned, probably from gaming and other competitive sports in general, is the number one thing that the people at work, we work for the same company, is the number one thing that people notice about. Like, my boyfriend's a great worker and he's great at his job. Like, he has the great skills and everything, but the discipline he has is something that is so appreciated at his work. And like this winter, we were both in snow removal. I quit halfway through the winter because I realized I bit off more than I could chew. But my boyfriend did the whole winter, and you could tell that like our supervisors and our boss at work were so impressed. He would get calls from people to tell him, hey, like, seriously, you work so well. You never complain. You're always there. You're never late. like people are really, really impressed by Chris and his discipline when it comes to his work. And I think that like his competitive career, yes, in gaming and sports and physical sports as well, definitely had a huge influence.
If I have to interrupt, I think my physical sport wouldn't have given me as much discipline as my gaming. Because how can I say, like how can I say, like in gaming you see the stats. In gaming you see the people you're around them 24/7, and you see the work that they put in. Other than a physical sport, you have practice 1-2 days a week, but it doesn't become professional fast. Which is in gaming, when you're really getting into it, it becomes professional fast. And you have to be more disciplined than the one on the left or the right of you.
Yeah. And I'll say one thing as well for gaming is that what I've noticed is that you're not going to like start gaming and within a week get picked up by a team. You're going to, I think most people
you have to prove yourself.
You have to prove yourself. And that means most gamers I know, if they've had... like if they competed in any ways, it's always started off with building your own team with your friends and building your own routine and your own practices and all that. And so creating that discipline for yourself before even ever being considered for a team that will have a coach that then, versus like when you're in soccer as a kid, your mom signs you up and you immediately have a coach.
If there's one thing I have to say, that people do go through these things, but I will say that's not the best.
What do you mean?
I mean, is that you have to go through. So most teams, what they do, like the big ones, they go through tryouts. Like in normal sports, like soccer, like football, like
But as a kid, there's no
kid,
tryouts.
no, there's no tryouts.
But in gaming, you have no choice but to develop that discipline before even getting to be considered for a team or something like that. Your mom can't just sign you up to a team and you have a coach immediately. At least not here.
But that depends, because the adult you have, like my mom, which is really disciplined in life and like in general, my dad too.
Yeah, but she knew nothing about gaming. She couldn't have created.
No, but I put
the
discipline that she did
she was a good example
into me. To what I was doing. You know?
Exactly. She was a good example, but there was no way she could have created a discipline for you. She didn't know enough about gaming. So you still had to like, build it on your own and get inspired. Yes. But
I have to say, like, if I have to cite more benefits, is that you get so you have to be self-critical about what you're doing. You have to think a lot. You get like, everything you're going to do with your hands is going to be more precise. Like it's neurology. I don't know how to say
neurology?
it. Yeah, neurologically.
Neurologically, yeah.
Yeah, and you're going to get so much better than most of the people. Like if I'm in a machine, like I picked up the machine, which is for most people so hard.
You mean the machines at work?
Yeah, machine.
Okay, so what he's talking about is like the bobcat.
Like the hand coordination is going to be so much easier. So much, like if you get into new things, you're going to pick it up so much easier than anybody else.
Yeah, and just to clarify on that, so what he's saying is he's talking about like bobcats, mechanical shovels, like machinery that we use on job sites in construction or in hardscaping. And that's something I think I've named in other episodes, but I'll take the time to name again here. One of the things that I've noticed is that every gamer I know who has tried out machineries has an easier time.
It took me 1 month, even less.
Yeah, but even like in the class at school when I was learning machinery, those who like had used joysticks and stuff like that just were smoother, quicker on the machines, whereas me, who really doesn't have that much experience with gaming and joysticks, and I started learning it older, so I don't have that like that development that people have when they've been gaming younger. And if you when I first started off in the machines, it was so jagged. I wasn't as smooth as people who like knew joysticks and had that touch, So there are like actual benefits in the sense of you develop things that do translate to real life very often, as we can see here in many cases.
Oh, yeah, there's so much. Like for me, it's my personal thing, but I'm pretty sure that you get so much advantage in anything. You know, if you do a bureaucratic job, like bureau, like
like
office jobs, or anyway, like
Yeah.
you're gonna be used to anything you're gonna get faced off. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, you think even an office job? Because it's a computer, you mean?
My computer, like you get used to computers, and anything that they're gonna throw to your face, you're gonna get used to most things because you're used to informations that are from a computer. You know, if you use Excel's, like you know what it is, but you're gonna like process it faster.
Yeah.
I think, but yeah.
Yeah, of course. So in talking about these benefits and these ways that gaming has improved your life and stuff like that, what are things that you think people don't know about teen gamers? Like what's something people wouldn't expect necessarily from a teen gamer? Or let's say like a stereotype about teenage gaming.
They're, I don't know, like they're lazy. They're, you know, most people think that gaming it's a waste of time, it's a waste of knowledge, it's a waste of it's a brain rot. But it's, you know, how can I say that? It's like if you want to go pro, it's a work. It's just work. Like any other thing, you know. I think you would be surprised how much you can be into, or like put himself, or like how you can think, how you can visualize things. Like you don't really know someone until you go into their passions. You know what I mean? So like for me, I would show something, but when you go into what I do, you will see another part of me, but you don't really see it.
Yeah, I think touching quickly on like the stereotype of like a gaming is lazy. I challenge the people who think that gaming is lazy, and I understand where that comes from, because you do see people like choosing to game instead of doing their household chores or stuff like that, and then they associate like gaming with laziness. But to you, person who associates gaming to laziness, I challenge you to go play Call of Duty and tell me if you feel lazy and relaxed, because I feel stressed the fuck out when I play those games.
But it's not even stress. It's just that try to learn a game.
Yeah, it's so much work. There's been times where Mistyc is going to say, do you want to play this game? Because I voiced interest in trying, like this game was released, or like when Split Fiction got released. I wanted to play it because I liked the game that those creators had made beforehand. But then Mistyc would say, do you want to like play Split Fiction? And I'd be like, oh, I'm not in the mood to learn a new game. And he'd be like, but you're not learning anything, you know. This is the same mechanics as the other game, you know. But for me, it just felt like so much work. It took me a while to be in the mood to play Split Fiction, even though I wanted to play it, just because it meant learning a new game, which wasn't actually that much work, though Chris got to see how bad I am at jumping.
Well, yeah, not just jumping, but
So yeah, I think
so it was fun time though.
Yeah, it was fun time. But all that to say that, like, I think it's interesting because I think it's this vicious circle kind of oh, the gamer is gaming instead of doing his chores, or the gamer is gaming instead of doing this thing,
Well,
and so they associate gaming to laziness.
Yeah.
But
I want to do a little comparison that is probably just like the people will get mad at me for saying that. But do you think that someone who's sitting at a desk in the classroom is lazy? He's learning.
Yeah.
He's not lazy.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that when you get in front of a TV and you're playing a game, like you create so many paths in your brain to try to learn, and just like it's critical thinking, it's logical thinking, it's like everything.
Yeah.
Everything that you do in your brain is you're learning when you play. It's even me nowadays. I can go back to Rainbow Six and I will learn again.
Yeah, of course. So I think the lesson in that is, yes, do people use gaming just like any other hobbies to avoid doing things they don't feel like doing? Yeah, absolutely. Just like any hobby, just the same way that I watch TV instead of washing the dishes. Yes, absolutely. But is gaming lazy? No, absolutely not. So that's pretty much all the questions I had about teenage gaming. But was there anything that you felt that you wanted to say, or anything you think I've missed, or?
I just think that if your child is or whatever, well, yeah, I would say that a child, because it's more like a career for me in gaming or esports starts at the teenage years, because that's where you will learn faster. That's where you're gonna pick up things as mechanisms. As like for me, 24 years old, I will not be as competitive as a 19 years old. That's for sure. Even though I'm 24, you know. But yeah, so I think that's if your child or your teenager like starts want to compete, like don't make them think that it's a waste of time. Make them think that it's gonna be like an adventure, you know.
Yeah, and I think a child wanting to compete can teach a lot of important things, right? So if you know, sports aren't their thing, or they like sports but not to the point where they want to compete, but they do want to compete in gaming, they will learn a lot just from the idea that they're competing in something. It will teach them a certain amount of discipline. It will help them develop their drive.
And if I have to say another thing is that if your child is really good enough to go pro, like they will make more money than you.
Yeah, it is true. One thing I'll say, actually, two things I want to say, because you did talk about like starting in the teens and the validity of that. And
Yeah.
I have met gamers who were in their mid to late 20s and talking about the dream of being a competitive gamer. And they do like little competitions, but they're talking about like the big dream of being a big competitive gamer. And whenever I talk to them about like, okay, so do it, they always say, well, I'm too old. My reflexes are
No.
already too far gone. And to me, that really was surprising, because I remember my stepsister, she would do gymnastics. And when we were talking about the Olympics, or like the possibility of her like going that serious, people were saying she didn't start young enough. And in my mind, she had started super young. So yeah, I can see how there is like, it is valid to, because it's about reflexes and that sharpness of mind, to start
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
But I'm not saying push
It's
your
like
kids.
anything. It's like anything. Why we put people in school, young people in school, then
That's because that's when they're ready
if you
to be
go back
molded.
at school at 30, 40, it's going to
harder.
be harder.
Yeah.
It's the
It's
same
doable,
way. It's
but harder.
doable. It's
Yeah.
doable. But like at 30, when you do, like if you do FPS or anything, like it's going to be harder for sure. But yeah, but like if I have to give, like if you do your research on it, honestly, like you're going to find so many people that are like Faker. Like Faker is it's my go-to when I do that, but it's the extreme. But statistically and research-wise, he's more popular than LeBron James. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and the numbers wise and all that.
yeah, and he's more than a millionaire nowadays. You know,
Yeah,
And
it is
he
true.
plays League of Legends. Like, if you think about it, it's a video game.
Yeah. And the second thing I wanted to say, you talked about like the validity of competing and stuff like that. And I think that for a lot of people, they don't necessarily see how big it can be. So I invite you, if you have a kid who's serious about gaming and who wants to compete, or you know, even if you're not a parent, it could be a partner or whatever, to research, to just do a quick Google about seeing the competitions that happen in Korea, or in Asian countries.
Whatever game they're interested in, just show them.
Because one thing that I thought was really interesting was with my mom, when Chris was competing, when Chris and I were like more at the beginning of a relationship, he was doing competitions for League of Legends. And I was in Paris with my mom, and I had shown her like the tournaments that happen in the more Asian countries and how big they are, the stadiums, and how full they are. And I had shown her pictures and videos to show her how epic it gets, because she had asked about Mystic's competitions and if there was money to be made
there
and
was
all
a
that.
little money,
Yeah.
but it was with friends, so
Yeah, but she had asked, she had shown curiosity, so I showed her how big it can get in certain countries. And then a few days later, we're still in Paris, and my boyfriend is obviously not in Paris with me, and I'm like sad because he can't be on a call with me because he's in a practice, or what we call a scrim. And I'm not actually sad. Like, I completely understand. I have full respect for the competition, but I'm with my mom in Paris, and I'm just trying to be like, cute and look for a bit of like fake sympathy, and I make a like fake sad face, and I'm like, oh, my boyfriend can talk to me because he's practicing, you know? And I'm like, you know, I'm clearly fake sad about it, but like I'm clearly still looking to for sympathy. But my mom just goes, well, if he was an Olympian, you wouldn't be complaining that he's practicing. And I was like, what? I was not expecting that from my mom, who like we'd never had a gaming console in our house. Yeah. Gaming was just not a topic. And all of a sudden she's just like, well, Juke, if he was an Olympian, you wouldn't be complaining that he's practicing. And I'm like, bitch. I clearly fully respected, and I wasn't actually sad. I completely understood, but I was like, hello. I was not expecting that from my mom.
So basically, the one thing I was just saying is that be open-minded about it.
Yeah.
Do your research like you would do if you want to plant crops, you know. It's just, no, but like, you know what I mean? I'm generalizing it. Yeah. It's a thing in life.
Yeah, of course. Well, I think this was a great episode. Thank you so much for joining me.
It's my pleasure. It was fun.
Yeah. So, listeners out there, if you want to find more Getting Gamers, you want to go look at our glossary, you can go on gettinggamers.com. You can find me on social media, most social media platforms, at juke_ish. So for today's segment of people I want to plug, I'm going to plug once again La Station Café in Montreal at the Beaconsfield train station. They are wonderful people. They make their own oat milk in-house. All their pastries and everything are homemade. Well, homemade. They're a company, like company made. And it is so delicious. It's a cute little cafe in the Beaconsfield train station.
And they are very delicious.
Oh yeah, Chris has been there. We've been there a few times.
Yes.
The toasted oat milk was my favorite.
Of course. The toasted oat milk and the sandwiches they're all like vegan, but they're like surprisingly really delicious.
They are. No, I love everything they serve. And like one of the owners is my friend. So like on my birthdays, she's brought me treats from her cafe. And everybody that's on my birthday always adores the treats. They're always so excited.
They were gone in 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, they go so fast. There's never any leftovers. So just to be clear, I said that Instagram is at La Station Café. It's la.station.cafe. I know I'm saying it in French, but it's la.station.cafe. It's going to be in the description, of course. And until next time, GG.
GG. Good luck, have fun.
Our podcast art was made by the wonderful Ariel, who can be found on Instagram at ProfitOpossum. And our intro and outro music was made by David Feslian from feslianstudios.com.
Job's done.